Autobiography of Longchen Rabjam from the Jewel Rosary History. I was born in the upper valley of Dra in Yoru as the son of Lobpan Tempa Sung and Droza Sonam Gyen. From a young age, I had great faith, compassion, and intelligence. There were signs that Namdru Ramati offered extremely close protection. She was even seen in physical form. By my 7th year, I knew how to read and had learned the Kilaya, Sugata Assembly, and Guru Rinpoche sadhana practices. Through this, by the age of 9, I had gained some understanding. At 12, I was ordained as a novice monk by Khenpo Samdrup Rinchen and Lobpan Kunga Ozer. I learned the Vinaya and explained it from the age of 14. At the age of 16, I received empowerments, guidance, and instructions from Lobpan Tashi Rinchen on such topics as the Lamdre, 6 yogas, 6 dharmas of Varahi, Gantapada's tradition of Kakrasamvara, and Mahatakra Vajrapani. From Lobpan Wangye, I received instruction on multiple categories of secret mantra sadhanas. From Zalung Rinpoche, I received the instructions of Jang Tsalpa, Gotsangpa's instructions on the path, and many other teachings, including on Chod and Jiji. At 19, I went to Sangfu, where I studied the vehicle of characteristics, including the treatises of Maitreya and valid cognition, Pramana. For 6 years, I studied thoroughly with the great teacher Labrangpa Chopal Gyaltsen and the second Dharmakirti and others. From the great teacher Sengonpa, I received instruction on the 7 treatises on valid cognition, the Heart Sutra, numerous minor transmissions related to Tara, and more. From Lotsawa Loten, I received numerous minor transmissions, including those for the 5 profound sutras, such as the King of Samādhi and the extensive commentary on the Heart Sutra. On occasion, I undertook the practices of deities that enhance intelligence, such as Akala, Sarasvati, and Prajnalokakarya. As a result, I experienced some indications of accomplishment in dreams and gained some spark of understanding related to scripture, reasoning, pith instructions, and poetry. I then roamed through various places, receiving teachings on sutras, tantras, and the pith instructions from several teachers, and refining my understanding through study and contemplation. From Lobpan Janu Dandrup, I received multiple teachings on the Gathering of Intention Sutra, Web of Magical Illusion, Mind Series, and more. I received the entire corpus of Arya Nagarjuna's works, including the root verses on the Middle Way, Introduction to the Middle Way, and so on, from Lobpan Janu Gyalpo. From Lobpan Janu Dorje, I received the Bodhicaryavatara, Compendium of Training, Siksasamakaya, and multiple oral transmissions, including the 6-fold union and 6 yogas from Jowo Atisa's tradition. From a Khenpo, I received many further instructions, such as Trofu's teaching collection, Karak's teaching collection, the Ocean of Sadhanas, 100 Minor Dharmas, and Vinaya scriptures. With the noble Guru and Dharma Lord Karmapa, I studied the 6-branch yoga, including the elimination of hindrances, the 6 yogas of Naropa, direct introduction to the 3 kayas, Great Compassionate One Jinasagara, King's tradition of the Great Compassionate One, and more. In addition, I received many teachings on the 6-branch yoga, approach and accomplishment, and wind energy, lung, from Lobpan Wangtsul, and practiced them in no particular sequence. When I spent 5 months in darkness in a rock cavern in Chokla, in a dream one morning, I found myself in a low sandy valley with small hills and waterfalls. I heard the sound of cymbals accompanied by song and saw a horse caparisoned with bells. Its rider was a 16-year-old girl, wearing clothes of silk and adorned with gold and turquoise, her face concealed behind a golden veil. I grabbed the reins and said, "Noble lady, hold me in your care." At this, she removed her jeweled diadem and placed it on my head. She said, "From now on, I shall constantly grant you blessings and attainments." As soon as she said this, I become physically and mentally immersed in blissful, clear, non-conceptual samādhi. I did not wake for a long time. Even after I awoke at sunrise, the experience continued for 3 full days. Then, at Samye in the spring, I met the noble guru, i.e. Kumaradza, who was staying in the uplands of Yartokyam. He said, "Last night I dreamt of a wondrous bird of divine origin, which was in reference to you. It seems a holder of this lineage of teachings has arrived. I must grant you the instructions in their entirety." He was overjoyed. That spring we moved from one desolate valley to another 9 times. The constant upheaval each time we established a base resulted in extreme hardship to body and speech. I sustained myself for 2 months with only 3 measures of flour and 21 mercury pills. Whenever snow fell, I placed myself inside the sack that served as both a coat and a seat. I made a vow to undergo such hardships for the sake of the Dharma for 3 years. I meditated at hermitages in such places as Chimpfu, and occasionally went before the Guru to clarify my understanding of the instructions and make an offering of my practice, which delighted him. I had no attachment to the appearances of this life and was free from the trap of retaining hope and fear about samsara and nirvana. I had at least set out on the path to liberation through the view of the fundamental nature of the great perfection and constant abiding in samādhi. Through the workings of past karma and aspirations in particular, I came to the retreat place of self-arisen Padma, Tibet's own 5-peaked mountain, where, for some students with the requisite karma and fortune, I shed light on the excellent path of the luminous Vajra essence. I have the positive aspiration to strive for others' benefit day and night. I have made offerings, entirely uncorrupted by the 3 conceptual spheres, 5 times in the noble Guru's presence, and I maintain the tradition of offering to the Vuras and Dakinis on the 10th and 8th days of each month, thus making meaningful whatever has been given out of faith. Whatever I do, the mere play of illusory phenomena and perception is in accord with the noble Dharma. Thus, to ensure that the authentic instructions are not confused but easily understood and put into practice, I have set down the pith instructions in numerous texts. In particular, I have set out the instructions of the quintessence of the Guru, wish-fulfilling jewel, Lama Yangtik, in a series of 35 teachings and sealed them with an aspiration for the sake of future generations. May those who follow me in future turn away from the affairs of this life, take responsibility for the future, follow a genuine spiritual teacher, receive the instructions of the luminous essence, and put the instructions of the secret heart essence into practice by themselves in isolated places. In this way, may they transcend samsara and nirvana within the same lifetime, and when prophetic indications arise, work as much as possible for others' sake. Withstanding all forms of ingratitude and weariness, may they spread the instructions far and wide. Translated by Adam Piercy with the generous support of the Sadra Foundation, 2024.